Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, after the disaster that was Transformers 1, Hasbro has decided to step away from funding any films on their properties anymore. Doesn't mean they're not going to let other people do it, but they are not going to be involved. They're not putting any money into any films anymore because they know they're not making any money. Transformers as a franchise has become a disaster. It started off well with the first couple of films, profit-wise at least, but art-wise they were awful. They threw out all the canon we knew. They created their own canon, for the merchandising privileges and all that, and all the usual politics that have nothing to do with the art or the audience. Just the producers involved trying to get the best deal and keep everything for themselves. The first film was good. Second film, awful, but we gave it a pass. Third film was kind of interesting if you looked at it like a trilogy and it was going to end. But then they just kept on going and changing things, and just instead of sticking to the original chronology or the original timelines or the original scenarios or exploring things that we'd seen in the cartoons or heard about in the comics or whatever, they just did their own weird stories with flying, transforming cubes, and the Transformers being involved in the Earth's past and being involved with knights and dinosaurs. It's just a mess and disaster. And then they thought, well, we just give up. We did a soft reboot with Bumblebee. That was great, but instead of just following on with that, we threw that out the window and did another Michael Bay version of Transformers with dinosaurs and things that no one cared about, no one wants to see, and that flopped. So then they thought, well, let's just reboot the whole thing with a kiddie film, because we've done a bunch of kiddie cartoons that nobody watched, so let's just make them into a film and try and tell a new story with kiddie Transformers and kiddie designs. And it was awful, and it was promoted for what it was, a disastrous kiddie film, and no one watched it, and it's bombing. And Hasbro just said no more, we're not putting any more money into this, so we probably won't get any more Transformers films. There definitely won't be a Transformers 2, but there probably will never be a proper sequel to Bumblebee, or just a Transformers film that just focuses on the simple story of the Transformers coming to Earth, fighting, endangering the humans, endangering the environment, and wow, the traffic outside is loud. We've had a lot of rain, so I had the windows open because I enjoyed hearing it, and yep, traffic. It's like we're never going to get that basic story, because that's all we need. Just Optimus Prime saving humans and Earth from Megatron. Just like in the comics and the series, that's all we needed, but they just didn't give it to us. They did their own thing because they didn't want to pay out the people who created those stories, or do something that someone else had done, or do a film version of someone else's story, because it's all about them and their ego and their merchandising and marketing and everything, and it's just a mess. So we could have had a great Transformers series of movies. We got one good film, and that was too much action, too much complexity of the actual robots and the designs and everything, and before too long it just overwhelmed everyone and wore everyone out. And then to try and interest people, they made up stupid things like having been on Earth in the past and involved in the astronauts and on the moon and the knights and everything, and just ridiculous stupid stories that have nothing to do with Transformers no one cared about. And now we're just in this place now where Hasbro's just abandoned it because they make more money out of games and things like that, and not virtual reality, gaming and stuff like that, than they do out of actual toys, apparently. So they're going in that direction because they don't care about anything else. And yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. And yeah, so they made the actual official announcement that they are out. They will not be funding any more Transformers films or any films based on their properties. They're just going to let other people do it. So we may see things, but it will be from outside of Hasbro through other people, which could be a disaster. It could be exactly what they need to have, just someone new come in, get their own investors in, who are smart enough to know if they do a proper Transformers story that's not overly complicated, people might come back to it. But the chances actually of that are pretty unlikely, because people have been so burned, the brand's been so damaged now. I don't know if anyone could actually, generate, that suspension of disbelief to actually think it could be good and actually go and see. So I think we're done either way. Even if they can get someone else to pay for it, I don't think anyone's going to go to them. I think it's dead. I think they've killed the franchise, at least cinematically. And that the toys still sell, but the movies, they ruined it, and the TV series, they just do nothing but kiddie stuff because they don't understand. You actually do a cartoon that adults can watch and can be intelligent, and also appeal to kids, because if kids are intelligent, they'll get it like we did back in the day. But they underestimate us. They underestimate kids. They condescend to them, and they create stupid little kiddie cartoons that just have no. Yeah. So they made the official announcement. They're out. That's it. I think we're done, unfortunately, for Transformers. At least we got one film where we got to see them in live action, in real life. That was amazing. But that was it.